Hi, my name is Maggie Taylor, and this is my plasma membrane concept map. Um, Plasma membrane has pretty basic function of just letting things in and out. And the first two models were the sandwich model by Davison and Danieli, and it was thought that the phospholipid bilayer was actually sandwiched between the two protein layers, but actually we're going by the fluid mosaic model, which says that they are actually embedded within the protein layers. And then also, I'm sorry, this is backwards, but the membrane proteins is what this says. You have your integral and peripheral proteins. Your peripheral proteins are on the outside, and they're directly connected to the lipid bilayer, and they leave the lipid bilayer alone when detached, unlike integral MPs. And integral membrane proteins are directly connected to the lipid bilayer, and they either go through one or both layers, and they can only be removed by disrupting with detergents. And then you also have your glycoprotein and your protoglycan. Sorry. Your your proteoglycan are polysaccharides attached to the proteoglycan layer in eukaryotic cells. These aggregates are attached to a core protein that regulates the passage of molecules through extracellular medium and guides cell mitigation. And oh, my dog's crying. Anyways, moving on. There are these 5 proteins that are pretty important. You have your enzyme proteins, your receptor proteins, anchor transportator, and lipid linked. They're all pretty self-explanatory. Receptor proteins are receiving them, and anchor ones are going to be they link intracellular actin filaments to extracellular matrix problems, which is like anchor. And then we have our transporter proteins that actively pump sodium out of the cells and potassium in. Your lipid linked are the ones pretty, like they're linked to lipids that are attached to the bilayer. And then these all lead to the protein attached membrane associated proteins and your monolayer associated membrane proteins. I hope you can see that. Okay. The monolayer faces the cytosol, and the protein attached faces away or towards the like extracellular fluid of the cell. So it's like pretty much the very, very outermost of the whole cell plasma membrane. And then these all can be broken up by the detergent. Come back to this side. So a membrane is made of a vesicle, which is a permeable membrane, passive transport and active transport. You have your channels, and which spontaneously let things in, and then of course they're also they're specific things. Then you have your simple diffusion, your osmosis, and osmosis goes into your isotonic, hypotonic, and hypertonic, which is based on your concentration gradients, or which way it's going to flow. Active transport, you're going to have your carrier proteins, which carry proteins in and out of the cell. your electrochemical gradient kind of measures and tells you how much is going to come in, and then your concentration gradient is going to kind of further that. And then phospholipid bilayer, which is the most important thing we've talked about. Amphipathic, which leads to hydrophobic tail, and then your saturated and unsaturated fats, which is hydrophobic, which means they don't like water. Fats don't like water. Your glycolipids and your sterols. Sterols are going to be your cholesterols and things like that.